human being. A human being, you put him in a place for a month or 2 months, you get used to that place. Once you move him out, it's hard. You have to get used to the second place all over again. But when you go back to your original home, it's home. Home is so important. People value homes and memories of homes. Now, we're here in America. My thoughts are back in Jerusalem. I have a home there, which it's hard for me to get back. My name is Betty Rabah, and in Arabic it's Badia Rabah. And I was born in Buffalo, New York, and I'm 80 years old now.
MashaAllah.
My birthday was January 5th this year. I have 8 children. I had 8 children, 5 girls and 3 boys.
How old were you when you had to move to Palestine, to Palestine?
3 years old. We came by ship, and that's a whole month trip. A long time ago, there was no airplanes at that time. And my father was sick, and he wanted to go to the old country to die because he had heart trouble. And they didn't have the surgeries they have nowadays. So it was hard on my mother. She took us, and we were 2 boys and 4 girls, my family. And my little sister was just a baby. But we moved, and my father's brothers and family brought trucks or buses, and they took us back to the village. We landed in Haifa. Haifa is part of Palestine. And they took us to the village, and we stayed in the village until the war broke out. The war 1946. And the war was horrible. We had to move to another village to survive. Meanwhile, my mother would send us to the mountains and the caves to hide from the airplanes. And we'd sit under the trees, and it was very bad being out of your home where you got used to it. We just came from America, and we lived like we were comfortable. And then we had to go like refugees. We didn't take clothes or anything with us. Then my mother would go to the souk to shop, and she would bring us food, and everything tasted horrible. The bread had sand in it. The water didn't taste right. And then my mother said, no, we'll go to her cousin's village. And we stayed there for a whole month until the war calmed down, and then we went back to our village, and like we were celebrating that we went back to the village. And that's how we started in Jerusalem. Jerusalem is a beautiful place to be, but the war wasn't very kind to us. You know, the thing is, the war stays in your mind even if you grow up. These memories stay in your mind. So whenever I used to hear thunder, I would think the planes are bombing us. And I would start screaming at night. And I'd call the neighbors to hide because the planes are hitting us. And it was just in my mind. It was terrifying. That's what I remember now. You know, it's many years ago, so I'm telling you what I remember.
Oh, you're doing good. So I want to ask about when you had to travel to different parts of Palestine and to America. How was it feeling like being a refugee? Like how did you feel?
How the people treated us?
Sure.
We're originally, we're considered from Palestine. So when we go to Jerusalem, we're okay at that time. But now it's different because it's occupied by different countries, Israel. Now they'll stop you at the they go in the bus and say, show us your ID, or just get off the bus and line up till they feel like, it wasn't easy. We didn't have a car to travel in, so we had to take buses or taxis. Now it's a little better because people got used to the occupation. We're still under occupation over there. We always have to show ID, we have to tell them who we are, where we're going, and all that. It's not easy.
How did you feel?
We felt it's like our land. It was taken away from us. We lost a lot of property, a lot of things, fields, olive trees. They took over our trees, they took over our land, and we were left with hardly whatever we had right there. But outside the village, they occupied everything. What's inside the village, we could call it's our own. But now they're going after everything.
So
I feel bad for the refugees that go to different countries. The only thing about us, we stayed. A lot of people just moved out. They gave up. We didn't give up. My mother said, no, this is our land. We have to stay in it.
what do you hope for Palestine, for Palestine, and for...
I hope peace. Peace will come to the whole area. And people live together like there's no wars. Because, it's hard to travel from one town to another. We're people that we want to go, go to Quds, Jerusalem, go to Ramallah, go to villages, go to Bethlehem, all these places. And it's hard, when there's soldiers around, you get scared. Home is so important. People value homes and memories of homes. Now, we're here in America. My thoughts are back in Jerusalem. I have a home there, which it's hard for me to get back. And your grandmother has a home. Your grandfather has a home. We all have homes there. But if we go there, we are on a temporary visa. We have to leave in 3 months or 2 months, whatever they give you. Home is very important to human beings. You have to have a home to relate to. Well, that's what it is. I don't know what I'm doing.
It's amazing. Don't worry.